We go. Hello and welcome. Here we are. It's January 3rd, 2024. And I don't know about you, I feel a great sense of relief. And I just think that 2023 was a very bumpy ride. I don't know about it for you, but it certainly shook. You know how you can shake a sifter and the hard pieces come to the top? I feel like that's what I was dealing with all this, the hard stuff that was left from the shakeup the year before, the year before. And I think 2023 was kind of navigating some of that, the challenges that were revealed by those times of lockdown and isolation. So hopefully 2024 will show us all the beauty of our own souls, the beauty of this life. We can be immersed in gratitude at the same time holding the space for grief and sorrow, which is inescapable, really. So I wanted to share a couple of readings today throughout our practice. But before I do that, I wanted to welcome people I've never met. My name's Sarah McLean, and I've been teaching meditation since 1993. So I think it's a worthwhile endeavor. This has been my vocation and avocation for over 30 years. And yeah, I think it's more than 34, maybe. I don't know. I can't do math. 31. So I love it. I like to explore it. I like to find the very best technique. And so that's maybe why I spent, many years traveling, looking for the best techniques in India from various teachings and teachers. I went and lived in a monastery, a Zen Buddhist monastery for 2 years. Of course, I worked for Dr. Deepak Chopra. At the time, we used to call him Dr. Chopra. Now he's everybody's Deepak, but becoming one of his first teachers. And I've studied with a lot of other luminaries. I'd say Byron Katie, studying the work and using the work, which is that inquiry. Anytime I feel a lot of suffering, questioning my own thoughts. And so for those of you I haven't met, what I like to do is share some of the commonalities and some of the differences in the various practices. But just as a sort of thumbnail sketch, I wanted to share that every single meditation practice, no matter how fancy the name is, no matter how fancy the brand is, no matter how much you paid for it, they really have three things in common. And the first thing is that it requires your gentle, non-judgmental attention. So what does that mean? Basically, you don't have to try too hard to meditate. Paying attention is natural, although some of us have been trained out of being able to pay attention for any length of time. Meditation will retrain your attentional bandwidth. So the type of meditation we use the type of attention we use in meditation is gentle, like the kind of attention you might use looking out the window at the clouds or the way the wind moves the trees. It's a gentle, non-judgmental attention. The other ingredient that everybody needs for a practice of meditation is your willingness to do it. Now, we all set aside, and you all have that because here you are. And if you're listening to this on a recording, you've got it too. But this willingness to do it is really based on trusting the process. It's really based on self-care and self-love. And it's really a commitment you make to fill your cup with more kindness, more energy, more presence, more joy, more compassion. So you need to have gentle attention, which you've got, check. You've got to have your willingness to do it at least every day if you can. I like to meditate, and I've upped my meditation this year to 27 minutes twice a day. So I'd like to suggest that you think about what you can commit to, whether it's 5 minutes once a day, 10 minutes twice a day, whatever you can commit to, because regularity is important. So you've got your willingness to practice, you've got your gentle attention, and the third ingredient is kind of where everything, that's where the differentiation is. So some of us like to meditate paying attention to a physical sensation, such as you're sitting here with me, maybe you could start to tune into the way the chest rises and falls with each natural breath. Some people spend their entire meditation simply tuning their attention toward the movement of the body as the breath moves in and out of the body. Some people like to feel the physical sensation of walking and the feet on the ground. And even as you're sitting here, you might want to bring your attention to your body and notice the various places in the body that are meeting the floor, meeting the chair, and tuning into the body as your anchor in the meditation. So some of us are very kinesthetic and prefer the feeling, touching feeling of the anchor in the meditation, while some of us like to use sounds as a way of meditating and paying attention to particular sounds, whether they're outside of you, like coordinating your breath as you sit by an ocean or a lake with the waves that are rippling in and out. Some people like to listen to sounds outside of themselves, like crystal bowls or even in the wind in the trees. Well, some of us like to use sounds that we silently say to ourselves, like a mantra or a prayer, or even contemplative poetry. And then the third way people like to use anchors in meditation is as visual anchors, whether you're looking at a horizon line, whether you're looking at a particular geometric shape or a candle flame, or whether you're imagining something internally in your mind's eye, some visual, maybe a visualization or a particular color or a particular scene. So really and truly, meditation really is made up of these three ingredients: your gentle attention, your willingness to do the practice, and then you can mix and match the visual, the kinesthetic, and the auditory anchors. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of everything. So I want to welcome you. I know some of you have never meditated with me. I want to just give you a couple pointers and then we'll move into a practice. And I'll have you close your eyes while I read you a couple of blessings. But first, I wanted to share that willingness to do the practice also includes the willingness to stick with the practice. So I don't know about you, but when I close my eyes, I'm met with a whole lot of to-do lists and thoughts, sometimes anxiety, sometimes trying too hard to change the moment I'm in. So these mental musings can really make it feel like you have to stop meditating. So you don't, though. You simply sit with the practice and come back again and again to whatever the anchor is, over and over and over. And this is the way your attentional bandwidth is shifted, because you keep coming back regardless of these conversations that you're having with yourself. You come back, okay, now I'm supposed to pay attention to my breath. Now I'm paying attention to my breath. And as you come back, you do not beat yourself up in any way, shape, or form. Okay, we want to be kind to ourselves in the practice. And also, today we're going to meditate for about 20 minutes. And as we do that, you're going to probably, some of us, not all of us, some of our newer meditators might say, okay, that's enough of that. And they said it's not working, and they get up. But I can tell you the way that it works is that you stick with it, and the benefits of meditation are experienced after the practice. During the practice, you're training your brain. During your practice, your blood pressure is being lowered. During the practice, your immune system is kind of recalibrating, and your circulation is recalibrating, and you're moving into the rest and digest response, the parasympathetic response. But after the practice is when the pedal meets the metal. After the practice is when you might feel a little more connected to the world around you, or a little more self-aware, or you might feel a little kinder or more inspired. So the reason to meditate and to sit through it all isn't to make some magic, but it is to live a life that you love. That's really it. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes if you like. Now, in the meditation, and some of you all know this, but in the meditation, you can sit with your eyes closed, or you can gaze softly towards your hands or the ground. Ideally, you're sitting upright. And if you need to open your eyes or shift your posture throughout the practice, you can go ahead and do that. You do not have to sit perfectly still in this particular practice. And I will keep track of the time. So let's go ahead and start. I'll keep track of the time. We'll sit comfortably together. And I'm going to invite you now to take some deeper breaths through your nose. Breathing in slowly and fully, and exhaling slowly and fully. Allowing yourself 3 long, slow, deep breaths at your own pace. This sends a signal to your body that it's okay to relax. Three long, slow, deep breaths. And then allowing your breath to return to its natural rhythm and depth. Throughout this practice, you'll be breathing naturally. Your breath might change as it gets faster or slower, or deeper or shallower. Just let it be as it is, knowing the body knows how to breathe. Check in with your body. See if you can soften any place you might be holding some tension, whether it's your forehead or your eyes. Inviting that breath to soften as you begin to scan your shoulders, your neck. You can even direct your breath to any area that's tense. Your chest, your back, your belly, your hips, your thighs, front and back, your lower legs, your feet, simply noticing your entire body. You soften your hands, feeling the support of this beautiful moment. Feeling the spacious interior of you. Receiving this moment. Your awareness is so vast. It's unbounded and intelligent. Tuning in now to the gentle rise and fall of your chest as you breathe naturally. Imagine letting go of anything that's weighing heavy on your heart as you exhale, releasing any burden in this moment, any sense of suffering. Releasing any grief or sorrow. Releasing any mental burden or physical pain. Releasing anything that doesn't serve you in this moment. And tuning into the alchemy of your heart, the ability of your heart to transform the suffering, the burden, the pain into something light and valuable, such as love and hope and joy. As you continue to breathe and pay attention to the rise and fall of the chest, you can bring your attention behind your breastbone and ask yourself the question, what is it that I really and truly want? What does my heart long for? This question isn't a mental construct, simply asking the wise one, that is you, to shed light on your heart's desire. Perhaps you can distill it into a feeling or a word or a phrase or a symbol or a light. I'll share a reading by Lao Tzu, a philosopher from perhaps the 6th century. He wrote, "Someone else has the answer. Some other place will be better. Some other time it will all turn out. But this is it. No one else has the answer. No other place will be better. And it has already turned out. At the center of your being, you have the answer. You know who you are, and you know what you want. There's no need to run outside for better seeing, no need to peer from a window. Rather, abide at the center of your being. For the more you leave it, the less you learn. Search your heart and see. The way to do is to be. Being right here, right now. Welcoming everything that you feel, every hope, every sensation, every sound. As you continue now to focus on the breath, wherever you feel it the most. The gentle inhale and exhale. The pauses between each breath. Feeling the movement of the inhale, the cooler air, the movement of the exhale and the warmer breath. And tuning in energetically, and notice if the energy moves up or down with each inhale or exhale. Tuning into the energetic movement of the breath. At the center of your being. We'll continue this practice for a few more minutes, and I'll keep track of the time. And whether you're paying attention to the movement inside the nostrils or inside your lungs or that energetic movement, let that be the anchor for your attention. And every time you notice you're drifting away, come back here. This circle of practitioners Bringing your attention now to that phrase or symbol or intention that you had when you asked yourself, what do I really want? Simply bring it into your awareness. Recognizing that each desire is a seed. And inherent in your desire are the mechanics for its manifestation. Invite the trust. Invite the faith that you already have. And then letting that intention go as you simply rest right here in being, resting in awareness. I'd like to share with you another reading. I invite you to keep your eyes closed. How brave you are for slowing down, for not finishing that to-do list. How courageous you are for not crossing that finish line because your body said enough. How fearless you are for choosing the quiet of your own soul over those voices driving you always towards more. How bold, how rebellious you are out there, honoring your own natural rhythm, going against the culture's breakneck speed. We tend to make heroes of those hungry with ambition, relentlessly doing, producing, always more. We applaud those who refuse to stop or rest, sacrificing sometimes their heart and soul in the process. Those who push themselves so hard in the name of achievement that they ignore their own body's cries. This drivenness can be heroic at times. It can at times be necessary for our survival or the greater good. But I want to make heroes out of those who slow down. I want to make heroes of those who listen to their bodies and do not strive for more than what the soul truly needs. I want to make heroes of those who do not force or push, but surrender to each moment as it opens. I want to applaud those who may not be driven towards success as we know it, but instead are nurturing something deep and subtle and needed. I want to celebrate those brave enough to cease all doing, even for a second, and sit with the ache in their hearts, a task many find harder than summiting the highest peak. I want to make heroes of those who honor their limitations, who are unable to keep up with the busyness of our times, yet show up to each profound and necessary moment. Truly, it is an act of courage and rebellion to do any such thing in a world demanding you resist your own self, your own rhythm, and your own soul. The paradox is that often when we cease our incessant doing, even for a moment, and we listen to that quiet voice within, we discover what it is we absolutely must do and what instead we can let fall away. We finally hear the call towards what serves our soul. And what then will serve the world? Nothing more, nothing less. A hero is simply someone brave. So come, be softly brave. Be a new, quieter kind of hero. Few may applaud, it's true, but your soul certainly will. Tune into your hero, your heroine, the one who chooses resting in being and taking the journey to your true self. And let's slowly begin to come out of meditation, simply keeping your eyes closed, bringing your attention to the outer sounds and sensations. Let them meet your awareness, just like your breath. You might deepen your breath just a little bit and invite some movement into the body. Being rather than doing, going at your own slow and steady pace. When you feel like you'd like to open your eyes, trust yourself. Don't rush yourself. You can do so first with a downward gaze at your own pace. And open your eyes all the way, letting your light out. I like to close by putting my hands in prayer positions and resting my thumbs gently on the breastbone and honoring the inner heroine or hero, the one who's choosing one of the most important things. I open my eyes to gaze at you and honoring you, the hero or the heroine, for choosing to get to know who you really are so you can beam it out into the world. So thank you for being with me today. That poem or prayer was, let me see if I can find out her name, was by Layla Aylin, LeylaAYLIN, chosen by my next door neighbor to read during our New Year's Eve invocation. So thank you for being here. I'm going to stop the recording now. And if you are listening to this on a recording, you can always go to my website to join another live meditation.